They say life and death are never far apart. On September 21st, 1999, in Taichung, Taiwan, the ground shook with one of the deadliest earthquakes the country had ever seen. Buildings crumbled, people screamed, and chaos filled the air. And in the middle of it all, I went into labor. My name is Mei Lin. I was 9 months pregnant, waiting for my first child. That night, I was lying in bed next to my husband, listening to the faint hum of crickets outside. Life felt calm, until the clock struck 1:47 a.m. The walls began to tremble. At first, I thought it was a truck passing by, but within seconds, the entire building shook violently. It wasn't a truck, it was the 7.6 magnitude GG earthquake. I tried to stand, but the floor buckled. Glass shattered around us. My husband grabbed my hand, yelling, "We have to get out!" But before we could even reach the door, I felt it, an intense, stabbing pain. My water broke. My baby was coming. In the middle of an earthquake. The building was collapsing. We stumbled down the stairs as dust filled the air. Every step was a fight against falling debris. My contractions grew stronger, faster. I couldn't breathe. Outside, the street was filled with terrified neighbors, crying children, and sirens echoing in the distance. People were shouting names, searching for loved ones. And me? I was on the ground, screaming, clutching my stomach. My husband kept repeating, "Hold on, please, just hold on." But babies don't wait, not for comfort, not for hospitals, not even for earthquakes. The contractions ripped through me like lightning. The ground beneath us wouldn't stop shaking, and every aftershock made me think the earth itself was splitting open to swallow us whole. I thought, this can't be happening. Not here, not now. Then something incredible happened. Strangers, people who had also lost their homes, people covered in dust and blood, rushed to help me. One woman knelt beside me, shouting, "I'm a nurse, I'll help." Another man held a flashlight, his hands trembling. We had no hospital, no equipment, no safety, just humanity. I screamed as the contractions reached their peak. My husband held me, whispering, "You're stronger than the earthquake. You're stronger than this." And in that moment, as buildings crumbled, and the world shook around me, my son came into the world, covered in dust, blood, and tears. I held him to my chest, and he cried, the most beautiful sound I had ever heard. Around us, chaos still reigned, but for a moment, everything went silent in my heart. I had brought life into destruction. That earthquake killed over 2,400 people in Taiwan, injured thousands, and left entire cities in ruins. But in the middle of that night of horror, my baby survived. People often ask me, "Weren't you terrified?" And the truth is, yes. I was more terrified than I had ever been. But in that terror, I found strength I never knew I had. Because sometimes, life insists on being born, even when the world is falling apart. Today, every time I look at my son, I see more than a child. I see a survivor. He was born in an earthquake. He was born in the ruins. But most importantly, he was born in hope. And hope, even when the ground shakes beneath us, is what keeps us alive.